It was at a park that was, let's just say, across the street. We stopped into a convenience store, me and a good friend of mine, a 77-year-old brother by the name of Joe Beasley. And when I went into the convenience store just to pay for the gas, y'all ever seen when somebody bounce a check or steal or whatever the case may be, they'll put their picture up over the counter, right?
Right.
Here's how they disrespect y'all. When I say y'all, trust me, I'm with you. But when I say y'all, I don't take that disrespect. I get into more confrontations on a day-to-day basis that you can imagine. One day it might cost me, but I'm willing to do that if it means changing our people. Had the pictures, two ladies up here, a man right here. But on the pictures, this is what they do in our community because they don't respect it. On the pictures, it had, first of all, this picture up top, you can see the brother maybe had something like muscular dystrophy or something. He had some kind of affliction, right? It had retarded donkey boy that likes to steal. One picture. On the second, see, when I say this, some of y'all might not find nothing wrong with this. On the second picture, it had a heavy-set sister. It said, "This bitch likes to steal, Jenny Craig." Right? You know, on another picture, it had the actual surveillance picture of the sister walking through the aisle. Let me just keep it real. She likes to take it in the back. I mean, this is in a store that's in y'all community. Why am I telling y'all this? Because when I got up to the counter and I'm looking at the pictures, I just couldn't believe it. There was a brother behind the counter. I said, "Brother," I said, "are you the owner?" He said, "No, an Indian guy owns the store." I said, "Well, can you get him on the phone, please?" He had me step to the side, and as I stepped to the side, I said, "Brother, do you see anything wrong with these pictures?" He said, "No." I said, "Why? Because they got caught doing something, that's why you didn't see nothing wrong?" "Yeah." I said, "Well, do you realize just because they got caught doing something, that don't mean that they can degrade black people throughout the whole community like that? Do you understand that?" I ain't never thought of it like that. The Indian owner was 36 years old. It's a true story, y'all. I'm going to end with this to show you when you open your mouth and stand up, change can happen instantly. The Indian brother and his father, who spoke no English, about 2 minutes later after we talked to him on the phone, pulled up. Came out with an attitude. I said, "My man, this right here would never fly in the city of Atlanta. You can't put Jenny Craig bitch. You can't put retarded donkey boy. You can't put likes to take it in the back. You can't put that kind of derogatory slogans in your store." Me and him started to get verbal, right? He didn't know that it was 350 folks across the street in the park that I was there to speak to. Once we kind of got into an argument back on, I'm sorry. Worst thing, he had a huge sign that had been painted. It's got the old school jailhouse bars. You know, the bars that you got when you're looking through them. He had a picture of a little black boy, couldn't have been no older than 12 years old, sitting there behind the bars saying, "If you mess with my livelihood, you'll end up in jail." Now, that don't sound that bad, except the images that he's putting for black people as he's steady making money off of black people.
Say that. Say that.
This is my first time at that store, and in 5 minutes, me and this brother had a confrontation. What happens? I leave across the street, leave to go across the street. I'm third to speak on the mic. When I got on the mic, I didn't even speak about what I was there to speak for. I was there to speak for being arrested by taking over the senator's office in the state capitol because Governor Deal won't give the citizens of Georgia health care. That's what I was there to speak about.
Right.
But when I got to the mic, I said, "How many of y'all frequent this store right across the street?" Over half of them raised their hand.
Wow.
I went into the whole story about what happened. By the time I finished speaking, everybody was so riled up that we were going to picket the store when the demonstration was over. But there's one thing that stopped that. Somebody tapped me on my shoulder and said, "Brother Coleman, is that the store owner right there?" Let's say down by that Dollar General sign, the 36-year-old Indian dude was peeking through the bushes. This is a true story now. Was peeking through the bushes at the rally. 6 or 7 of some of the soldiers that we got went over there and confronted the Indian owner. Called me over there. Let me use you, brother. Indiana said, now this is after he been watching this whole speech. This is after that he heard all of us was going to shut him down, right? Man, I just want to apologize to you, man. We got off in the wrong foot, man. I've taken all the signs down, man. I just wanted you to know that. One of my soldiers said, well, we appreciate that, sir, but why don't you come and address the 350 people in the community and let them know that? And he did it. Not only did he do it, he stepped in front and apologized and said, I never thought it was disrespectful because my black employees were the ones that wrote the slogan. What? So I'm so glad that somebody opened my eyes to how disrespectful it is. The same shit that goes on right here.
Amen.
Y'all walk by it. I asked one other brother before all the confrontation happened, not the store, not the clerk. I said, yo, blood, does that bother you? He said, yeah, it do, man, but you know how it is. I said, no, I don't know how it is. That's part of the problem, young brothers and sisters. Stop getting so caught up into the shaking your butts and getting your drink on. And I like to do that too. But you got an obligation to them little boys and girls in that jump house. You got an obligation to the ones that are in the juvenile detention center getting raised by the state. You got an obligation to yourself and to your ancestors, the reason your black butt can even hold the start to begin with. Some of y'all act like y'all just jumped into this thing, able to do what you able to do, and people ain't died and went to jail for that. That part right there gets me so angry about us. When you got real stuff that's in front of you, but you act like you're entitled to it.